Hello everyone and welcome to another Gozasan on the decks with your host Gozasan, and today we are actually not we and I mean I um, but basically I made this video because I want to update about what exactly has been going on with me for the past few days or weeks or so. So before that, let's turn on some music, because why not? Alright. So for this video, this is basically a vlog of what I'm actually doing. So um, hopefully you understand what I'm doing here. But if not, that's alright. So I want to talk about why I haven't been posting up any videos or streams lately for the past few weeks. It's because, as you can see, I'm actually like streaming from my university right now. And usually when I do my streams, I usually use the university internet connection, the LAN cables that have been provided. So for the last year and for at least for the early of this year, I've been able to properly plug in my LAN cable and connect to Steam and play my games from there. So Team Fortress 2 I can stream, and other games I want to play I can stream as well. But unfortunately, due to some university policy, they decided that they want to cut down on the gaming, so they actually firewalled off Steam, so I can't really connect to Steam at this point in time. So I'm unfortunately unable to do a lot of Team Fortress 2 streams and the like. But the good news here is that it did not block off, say, what is it called? Origin, because as I told you, I think some of you guys know about this, but I told you once Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare comes out, I will do videos on that. With like my Team Fortress 2 streams, I'll be doing video case by case basis and doing streams on that. So that's what I feel like. What we have to do right now, or what I feel like, what I can do right now is wait until Garden Warfare comes out, which is I think within next Thursday. I think it will come out, and then what we'll do from there is that we will do Garden Warfare videos instead of Team Fortress 2 videos for a while, until we can talk to the university and we say, hey, I'm also doing videos. Some people are also using university internet connection to play games. Let us do that, because we only do that when everyone is away, not while there are people actively in the whole place during classroom times where we're studying or using it for important purposes. And you can probably slot us a bit of time away from classroom hours, allow us to use the computer, the internet connection purely for gaming as well. So maybe we can have a curfew in that sense, because I mean, I'm trying to find other places to do my streams, but here's the thing, I usually do my streams in enclosed spaces, confined, not really confined spaces, but private places where I can probably do my streams without any real other outside environments disturbing the stream as well. Also, if I try and find other places to stream, the connection might not be as fast as my university connection right here. It's like 70 megabits per second download speed, and the upload speed is pretty impressive as well. So I mean, I can do that at my house once. Like right now, literally my class semester has already ended. So what I can do is, after my exams have been finished, I can go back home to my house and stream from there. It's pretty fast enough for me to get by, no problem. So I think that's where I'll be going from there. So yeah, right now we won't have much streaming on Tier 2. We won't have much streams at all. We might get some streams for Garden Warfare, depends on how the firewall in my university reacts to Origin. So it will go from there, I suppose. So lately I haven't been online because I've been unable to connect to Steam. Hopefully within the next few days after my exams especially, we will be able to get through with the connections and be doing more streams from there. Team Fortress 2, Garden Warfare, not only just Garden Warfare but also more Team Fortress 2 stuff, especially since Team Fortress 2 has just been updated. I learned about the Love and War update of Team Fortress 2 and I'm pretty hyped up about it, especially with what has been going on within the past few days. If we go over here, you can see that I've been following the Love and War update and stuff with the new weapons and stuff. Also, in terms of the Love and War update, I did watch Expiration Date, the new shot by the guys at Valve, and I think it's pretty awesome how they are doing the taunts as well. Though I think people will be more interested in doing taunts rather than actually like playing the game for a while. So maybe it's a good thing that I won't be able to play TF2 for a while and at least do some streams on that. So at least once everything has slowed down a bit, maybe do some bug fixes. There has been some bug fixes lately about the weapons. So once that has gone down, at least I'll give it about a week, at least after my exams have been finished, and we should have a working set of new weapons, gameplays, and stuff like that from there. So I'm pretty hyped up. I'm looking forward to it. So look out for that. And I think for now, what we can do is we can talk about some of the weapons of the new update for Team Fortress 2 itself, so that we can get a bit hyped up. Maybe I put in some of my thoughts of my strategies that go into using some of these weapons, and we'll see from there. So the first one we'll talk about is the backscatter. So the backscatter is a scout scattergun. It has a clip size similar to like the Babyface's blaster. This one mini crits targets when fired at their back and at close range. So it's sort of like the backstab knife for the scout sort of thing, from this fire for the scout sort of thing. So no random crits, 20% less accurate, which means this is better when used up close and personal, and if you can maneuver yourself such that you can get behind the enemy and shoot from their backs. It's good for flanking play. It relies heavily on how well the scout can flank, which of course the scout can flank quite easily. And with the scout speed, he is able, and jumping ability, he's able to jump, run, jump behind enemies, confuse the enemy, and then shoot them from the back. But I personally think that a regular stock might be more worth my while. At least personally, I don't really jump a lot, so I preferably like to use the Babyface's blaster over any of the other scatterguns. That's how I play Scout. I'm not really good at Scout anyway, so personally I think if a person is able to position himself pretty well, the backscatter might be a good weapon to use. But personally, I probably won't be using it, as I'm not really good with scouts in general, so that's just something to note. Let's just move on to the next weapon. The Tide Turner is a new shield for the Demo Man. 25% fire and explosive damage resistance, full turning control while charging, and kills while charging refill 100% of your charge meter. So what this means is that if you kill a person while you are charging, not just with using your melee weapon, but also with the shield bash, you'll get refill 100% of your charge meter immediately after you get the kill. So what this means is that a Demo Knight can do a lot of chaining with this weapon. He can like chain to one target, then he gets his charge meter filled, then he can run over to the next target and chain from there. So it's a lot of timing stuff, but also it's a lot of luck and calculation based, because sometimes the Demo Man has to calculate like how much damage would it deal to for a person to be killed while charging. So if you can properly calculate on the fly and also deal the damage, you can keep on charging to your heart's content, and everyone will just get picked off one by one by the Demo Knight. It's a pretty interesting weapon. I think a good loadout for this weapon will be to use this with either the Palladium Mockball which is the sword that gives you an extended charge range, or you can use it with the House Itochi, which will refill your health every time you kill someone, which I think House Itochi will be pretty, with the Titan will be pretty OP actually. But we'll see exactly what happens, especially since like they actually nerfed a bit of the damage output of the sticky launchers somewhat. I'm not so exactly sure how, but I'll have to test it a bit in order to know how it actually works. As I said, I haven't been having some time. I lost a bit of time actually with playing Team Fortress 2, so I'm unable to do much of that. Alright, so with that, yep, this is the backscatter, this is the tide turner, and then we move on to the base jumper. Okay, before that, the tide turner, I think if you are gonna use it, don't bring any of the Devilman shoes with it because you already have full turning control while charging. I personally think the shoes would be better for the other shields, not for this one. So in this case, bring your grenade launcher along with you when you use the tide turner. I think it might be better in that sense. Alright, let's move on to the base jumper. Now the base jumper, press jump key in the air to deploy. Deploy parachute, slow your descent. Devilman and soldier. Now I'm not so sure how the descent slowing thing will work in this case. Like how can you control where you land, how you land, where you move while you land and stuff like that. But it's pretty good to like get a height advantage over your enemies and then just rain down bombs at them, since the soldier and the Devilman can use them. Sticky spam, rocket spam can deal a lot of damage especially, but you are more susceptible to like sniper and heavy fire if you are not careful, and maybe even sentry fire as well, because you're quite exposed in the air, and because your descent is slowed down, you actually move a bit slower I think if you descend, so you're pretty easy targets for heavies and snipers in general, so that's one thing to note. We will move on to the airstrike, which is a weapon that complements the base jumper. Now increase attack speed while blast jumping, so if you are in the air you shoot rockets faster compared to if you're on the ground. Clip size increase on kill. I think if I remember correctly it's upwards to a clip size of 8 if I remember correctly. Minus 25% damage penalty, minus 25% clip size, so you initially start off with 3 shots in a clip, I think, and minus 15% exposure radius. So the airstrike for the soldier, it complements the base jumper very well because you are able to stay in the air, and then because the rockets are pretty locked onto the target, not like unlike the Beggar's Bazooka, you can deal a lot of damage to specific targets while in the air. So if you need to pick off a certain enemy, you can use the airstrike together with the base jumper and maybe even the market guard just for the fun of it, and you can deal quite a bit of damage. Now, of course, you have to start building up your clip size first before you can actually be a bit more effective with the airstrike. But once you get the increased clip size, I think you are just gonna wreck a lot of people. I think this will be good for like picking off like sentries or medics or snipers in general. But we'll see about that. I think personally I won't really use this weapon. I think I'll stick with the stock rocket launcher, or maybe even the direct hit. We'll see how it goes from there. The base jumper will be pretty interesting actually, but I would prefer a normal banner rather than the base jumper myself. Tide turner I might use, I'll have to see about that, but I'm not main Devil Knight, so I know a few people who main Devil Knight and they'll probably love this weapon to death once they get the rhythm going. Backscatter I probably won't use. Base jumper I might use, not with the airstrike maybe, but maybe with the airstrike. We'll see what happens. Now the last weapon I want to talk about is the classic sniper rifle. Charge and fire shots independent of zoom, no headshots when not full charged, and minus 10% damage on body shot. Now If you guys played Team Fortress Classic, which I personally haven't, but I heard that the Classic was based on the sniper rifle in Team Fortress Classic. So just a way for Valve to reintroduce some of the stuff, nostalgic stuff from Team Fortress Classic, I suppose. But okay, let's talk about it a bit more. Charge and fire shots independent of zoom, but no headshots when fully charged. So basically what this means is the shot can be charged up while you are not scoped in. I'm not so sure if you still have like a speed movement penalty while you are unscoped but still charging up the shot. But this basically means that you can be more aware of your surroundings while you charge up the shot. Because like if you pay attention to your surroundings before you shoot, you will be able to figure out, hey, there's like 2 snipers, or there's a more important target I have to shoot, or there's a spy behind me, I have to take care of him first. So that's an important concept to take note, is that you are more aware of your surroundings with this weapon. However, you cannot headshot when you are not fully charged. So if there is a speed penalty, it will cause you to be a bit more vulnerable, but you are still paying attention to your surroundings, so that's a bit of a trade-off there. So if yeah, so you can take note. And 10% less damage on body shot, but it will still deal full damage on headshot. So I think personally, if you are going to use this weapon, use it like you would use the Machina, I think, because Machina deals more damage when you are fully charged. So I think for Machina users, they will feel a bit more at home using this weapon. It feels quite similar using this weapon because you can it deals more damage only if you fully charge it. And I think in general, players who want to be a bit more aware of their surroundings would like to use the Classic more than any other weapon. I would personally like to use the Classic more than any other weapon because I don't always check my backs when I play Sniper, and when I play Sniper I always more or less the same. I get backstabbed quite often. So the Classic will be a good weapon to use if you want to be more aware of your surroundings, like be more aware of where the spy is, be more aware of where the enemies are, be more aware of who you have to shoot down first and who is hindering your team from pushing. So the Classic is all about awareness, and so if you have that awareness with you already, then that's good. The Classic might help you out, or you don't really need to use the Classic at all. But I think the Classic is to help to teach people how to be more aware of their surroundings when they snipe, so that they will be able to know when to bail out, when to shoot down, and who to shoot first, or who to pay attention to in a skirmish. That's what I think. So the Classic, I'll definitely be trying that out, especially like I heard that the Classic will give enemies when shot, like what happened to 2 players to Team Fortress Classic. That one I saw a few people doing that. I'm not so sure like how often that works. Like if you do a body shot, will that work as well? I don't think it will show when I do streams, because what I do is I have this high frames config, so I don't think it will show the gibbs, but oh well. I think it's negligible, though it will be pretty funny to see people getting gibbed by a highly powered sniper rifle like this. It looks pretty badass actually, and it looks pretty cool. So I think the weapons I would try are, at least if I can get the chance to do so, the base jumper, definitely the Classic. Airstrike maybe once I get the base jumper together in as well. The Tide Turner, maybe not, I don't think so. The backscatter, I probably will ignore it. I don't play Scout much, and when I play Scout it's usually with the Babyface's blaster. So guys, that's what I think of the weapons, for the new weapons so far. There has been a few changes to some of the previous weapons before this as well, like to the current weapons that we have. Let me check the updates just to make sure. Alright, so item changes. Bushwhacker no longer randomly crits. The Extinguisher now does mini crit damage from the front and full crit damage from behind to burning targets. Now this is an interesting change to say the least. I don't use the Extinguisher much. What I usually use is Degreaser, what was that weapon? I can't remember. It's the other shotgun that mini crits, and also the Power Jack. Yeah, the reserve shooter. So the Degreaser, the reserve shooter, and the Power Jack is what I usually use as pyro. So in terms of this change, I think it might it forces the pyro to be a bit more ambush sort of class, but you know, I personally don't use it, so I don't really know exactly what the whole thing is. I think personally, Extinguisher, it is already quite balanced as is, doing the crit damage even from the front or the back on burning targets. I think the mini crit damage may hinder a lot of pyro players who main Extinguisher. So that's something, just a bit of an idea of mine. I'm perfectly fine with the Extinguisher doing full crit from the front. I mean, there's a learning process, I can deal with that. Hitman's Heat Marker, pressing reload now activates focus when it is full. Now you have a bit more control about how you use the Hitman's Heat Maker's focus, so that's great. Updated lock and load reload animation. Sentry bullets now affected by damage fall off outside of Sentry's scan range, so you can't just simply spam the Wrangler damage now as per normal. And all Demo Man sticky bombs now have damage ramp up. Full damage is reached 2 seconds after firing. All miniguns now have damage and accuracy ramp up after they start firing. Full accuracy and damage is reached 1 second after firing. So they nerfed the damage a bit, such that I think for Demo Man sticky bombs is that you have to shoot a few sticky bombs and then let it arm for a little while before the damage actually maximizes out. So it's like a double sort of arm time in that sense. So now the sticky bomb is less useful for like sticky bomb spam compared to last time, and it's better and it's more useful in setting up traps compared to like just general sticky bomb spamming. I think, I'm not so sure. I will have to test that and see whether it's actually a good idea, but I really personally don't know. Now, all miniguns have damage and accuracy ramp up after they start firing. Full accuracy and damage is reached 1 second after firing. That one I also have to test. I'm not so sure about that change, but I'll see exactly how that works. Okay, what else? Alright, so yeah, Bushwhacker can no longer crit, and they have added new taunts and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's basically what I wanted to talk about in general. With all the newly added weapons and the taunts and the videos, I thought the 15-minute video made by Valve on the Love and War update was absolutely great. Exploration Day was a great show, and I personally think that Team Fortress 2, even though it's quite old, it's still growing as a game, and a lot of people still play it. Competitive scene in Team Fortress 2 is still very highly active and stuff. So it is a game that is still continued to be played even after today, even like 6-7 years from now. I think 10 years from now even, it will still be a huge game to be played. So yeah. All right. What else do I need to talk about? So I think the taunts and TF2. No, let's talk about my streaming schedule for now. So TF2, as I said, I can't play Steam at this point in time, so right now I won't be playing, but that's okay because I want everything to like settle down a bit. I don't want to go into a server and have the whole conga line being formed at this point in time and no one is actually playing. It will probably be quite a troll stream if I did that. So I'm not gonna play for like a few days or so, or at least or at least until I can get a proper connection going, or I leave the university a bit to find another place to set up my internet and start streaming TF2 and stuff. So yep. What else? Yeah. Also, in terms of Garden Warfare, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, I'll be doing streams on those, like Team Fortress 2. Hopefully, it will be properly streamed with OBS, so I can do stuff. Maybe we'll see what happens. I think in general. So that is my plans so far. I think for now, what you guys can expect is that within like a week or so, I think probably at least 2 weeks or so, I'll start churning out more videos, more of my more highlights of my streams, and you can bet your ass that I will be doing more of this as time goes. So I think for now what we can do is that you guys can just be a bit patient, allow me to get some time to like tweak out a few of the nooks and crannies here and there, and once I get everything done, everything is settled, I should be able to properly start streaming again once we have the resources to do so. I have my exams like next week maybe, so like next Tuesday, so I'll be a bit busy with my work and my studies and stuff. So with that said, I probably might not do some stream. I might do some TF2 stream like 1 or 2 days, but that's about it. And then after that, I'll stay offline for a while, work through my schedule, work through my studies, literally get my shit together. And once all my exams have passed through, all my plans have passed through, I should have 3 weeks of breaks, and I'll probably be staying at home doing my streams from there, and we get Team Fortress 2 and Garden Warfare all the way, or at least like TF2 first, then Garden Warfare could come later. I mean, like, because I'm not so sure about my university stats, so probably I'll be doing TF2 in another place and Garden Warfare here, so that's why I'm thinking. But I think other than that, I think that's it for me today. So guys, thank you for checking this video out. I appreciate it. If you like what you see, follow me on Twitch, subscribe to my YouTube, the link is down below. Yeah, any recommendations for music you want to add to the playlist that I use in my streams or videos, please do drop me a comment on any of my YouTube videos, and I'll see what I can do. If you have any demos you want me to cast, TF2, I'm still looking for TF2 demos to cast. I'm practicing on my streaming and my shoutcasting. I'm actually thinking of like trying to get some help from some of the US casters, like maybe Kip or Eckstein or stuff like that. Maybe get some experience from them and figure out where to go from there. So that's what I'm thinking. Drop in, looking for Highlander, not necessarily sixes, but whatever works, just drop it in, comment, I'll see what I can do. Alright guys, that's it for me today. Vlog. Join me again for another stream, another video. So this goes on Dex, and I'm going to be signing out right now. So see you guys later. Bye.